folks, welcome back. Thank you for watching. Please do hit subscribe if you haven't done so yet. It really does help when you do that. So today, folks, I wanted to take a very quick look at these things here, which are of course power tubes for a guitar amplifier. Now the amp I'm going to use today is My Hughes Kettner Puretone, which is a kind of hand-wired 40-watt Marshall Plexi-type circuit built around the EL34 power tube, one of the most common tubes to find, especially in British-voiced Marshall-type amps. Now, these are very, very common tubes, but there is an alternative that you can use pretty much interchangeably with the EL34, which is the KT77. And I've been running this amp with KT77s in for a few years now, and I've been thinking recently about what tonal differences may or may not be when I put EL34s back in. So I've got two matched pairs of both of these tubes. They are both brand new, off the shelf. The guitar shop I bought them off has burnt them in, so they do have that kind of early wear-in done, but in terms of mileage in guitar amps, they're both absolutely brand new. So I've got two matched pairs here. I'm going to put them in the Hughes & Kettner, record a few cleaner things, some gainy things, cranking the amp, not using pedals to get the tubes really working, and I'm going to put the footage side by side to see exactly what differences and similarities there are between these two types of tube. There's a lot of things spoken on forums about the tonal differences. In terms of physical differences, I think the glass of the EL34 here is a tiny bit shorter than the KT77, but a little bit wider. And the internal plate of the KT77 is about 3 or 4 mil shorter than the internal plate of the EL34. What difference that makes to the tone, I don't really know. I'm sure there'll be people in the comments that can educate me on that front. But today I'm going to put them side by side to see what we can hear. So without further ado, guys, let's get tubing. So there we are, folks. Now, please do comment underneath, let me know what you thought of everything you heard today. I love chatting nerdy guitar stuff with you guys in the comment sections. But as we heard, both of those tubes are very, very close in sound, aren't they? So going from an EL34 to a KT77, it's not going to give you a completely different sounding amplifier. They are very much ballpark. But that said, there were a few differences that did stand out to me sitting right here in front of the amp. Firstly, I felt like the KT77 had slightly more gain or slightly less headroom than the EL34, because even with the clean sound at the beginning when I was strumming those opening chords, the KT77 was breaking up slightly in the way that the EL34s weren't. Now, that might just be a difference between these two particular sets of tubes, because they do vary in gain, but that's one thing I was hearing. Secondly, I felt like the KT77 had a slightly more glassy top end to it. So with the clean and the sort of lower gain sound with the Heritage 535, I felt like I was preferring the KT77s for that little bit of extra sort of clarity and bite it was giving me. The EL34 sounded a little bit more rolled off up top in comparison. But the third and probably most important difference that I was hearing is I felt like the EL34s had a fair bit more weight in the lower and sort of low mid frequencies. Sitting right here in front of the amp, it was really punching me more in the chest with the EL34s than in the KT77s. So the KT77s sounded like they had a slightly more sort of thin low end, a little bit less weight to them, but maybe a little bit more sort of clarity and definition up top. So those are the differences I was hearing, but let's be honest, they are nothing that like a 1mm adjustment on your amp's bass and low mid control or turning it up or down slightly couldn't compensate for. So yes, you can go from an EL34 to a KT77 and back again, but it ultimately doesn't make a huge difference. So there we are, folks. Now, as I said, please do comment underneath, let me know what you are hearing. I love chatting all this through with you guys in the comments. But thank you for watching. I hope this video was interesting and useful for you. Please do carry on subscribing. It makes a huge difference when you do that. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.